Welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you've been paying attention to the tech world lately, you've probably felt it, right? This subtle but honestly massive shift. We are officially witnessing AI's great escape. It's fundamentally shifting from just passively sitting in a chat box waiting for your questions to actually taking real-world action on your behalf. Now, as focused learners, you already know how fast this space moves, but this past week alone has brought a literal tsunami of updates that are completely changing how we interact with software, physical space, and creativity. We've got a lot of ground to cover today, and it is absolutely fascinating.
$400,000, or roughly 3.8 crore rupees. That is exactly how much one guy had locked inside a digital wallet for 11 years. Why? Because he did what literally all of us do. He forgot his password. For over a decade, that absolute fortune just sat there, untouchable. He tried professional services, endless password combinations, and absolutely nothing worked. Finally, as a total last resort, he fed files from his old college computer into Claude. And the AI didn't just give him advice, it actively combed through the dumped data, located a forgotten encrypted wallet file, and actually used an open-source recovery utility to unlock it. He got his money back. That is the power of the proactive AI we're talking about today.
Okay, let's dive into this and synthesize this week's absolute chaos into 4 clear themes. We're looking at 1. The AI agent takeover. 2. Bridging the physical world. 3. Zero-click content creation. And 4. The infrastructure underneath. Let's get into it.
Starting with number 1, the AI agent takeover. Proactive AI is officially here, which means the era of typing massive paragraphs of text into a generic prompt box, that's ending. AI is becoming a deeply integrated proactive participant in your daily workflows.
Think about the old workflow. It was, frankly, exhausting. Opening 10 different tabs, copying context from one place to another, and writing these highly complex prompts. But the new way? You're just pointing your mouse and speaking one single command. Google DeepMind is building something called Magic Pointer with their Gemini model underneath it. So instead of explaining what you want, the AI just follows your cursor. You hover over a recipe, say, add these to my shopping list, and boom, it's done. Or with the new proactive Gemini Intelligence, you can literally just take a photo of a concert poster and tell your phone, book 2 floor seats to this. And the AI actually navigates the ticketing site and handles the checkout for you. It's wild.
And Anthropic? They're taking this exact proactive philosophy right to the enterprise level. Claude for small business and Agent View now connect directly to PayPal, Canva, and DocuSign to completely eliminate tab fatigue. You don't have to juggle a dozen SaaS apps anymore. You just talk to Claude, and it quietly runs an entire fleet of AI coding and business integrations from one single super manageable dashboard.
Which brings us to autonomous delegation. Enter Deerflow 2.0. This is a new, free, open-source release by TikTok's parent company, and let me tell you, the developer community is going absolutely wild for it. It's basically like having an entire department of highly skilled employees working 24/7 locally, right inside your laptop. You give it one massive task, and instead of one AI becoming a bottleneck, it assigns a leader AI. That leader breaks the job down into pieces and deploys multiple sub-agents to handle the research, the coding, and the design all simultaneously. But here's the kicker. You don't even need to be sitting at your laptop to wield this power anymore. OpenAI just dropped a mobile app for Codex, their developer agent, and it is so seamless. You could literally be standing in line waiting for coffee, pull out your phone, and write a prompt saying, hey, update the launch video copy in Remotion, render it as an MP4, and share it on Slack. Codex will execute that exact task remotely on your laptop, sitting back at your house. And then, you just review and approve the final work right there on your phone screen.
Let's move on and see how this builds in Theme 2, Bridging the Physical World. We are transitioning away from just staring at software screens. AI is now bleeding directly into our physical reality through voice, vision, and real-world robotics.
Historically, right, if you bought a robot, it only did what it was programmed to do at the factory. You want it to fold laundry? Well, get ready for weeks of engineering. But that barrier is completely gone. Unitree, a massive Chinese manufacturer, just launched Uni-Store. It's the world's very first task app store for humanoid robots. Anyone can now download physical skills with zero coding required. So you've got to make a choice here. Do you download a practical app that teaches your robot to fold your household laundry and manage farm work, or do you download a Michael Jackson dance routine?
Now, to interact naturally, AI needs to process information as fast as we do. Ex-OpenAI CTO Mira Murati just pulled off a massive breakthrough here. She dropped voice response time down to just 0.4 seconds. That completely obliterates OpenAI's 1.18-second delay. And it doesn't just talk. It thinks, it listens, and it watches, all simultaneously. In a live demo, this thing flawlessly performed real-time Hindi to English translation mid-conversation without skipping a single beat.
Meta is also jumping into the real world with live camera vision. You can literally just point your smartphone camera at a physical object and Meta AI understands it instantly. In their demo, they pointed a phone at an apartment complex in Spain, and the AI immediately identified it as a very specific building built in 1973. And crucially, Meta is pairing this physical world capability with deep, deep privacy. They've introduced a WhatsApp incognito mode that uses private processing. Nothing is saved on the server, which means not even Meta can see your questions or the AI's answers.
Okay, this brings us to the climax of our explainer. Theme 3, zero-click content creation. If those previous updates changed how we work, these next tools completely obliterate the technical and financial barriers to professional design.
People are saying the cost barrier for building a professional-looking website or animation has basically collapsed overnight. And they're right. This disruption is being driven by tools like Kumi AI from Moonshot AI. Kumi is astonishing because it operates at literally just 10% of the cost of heavyweights like Claude Opus, and yet it recently rocketed straight to #1 on the leaderboard for 3D design.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the workflow Kimi enables. It's staggering. To build a highly complex website, you don't need a developer or some expensive agency anymore. You literally just upload one flat screenshot of a shoe, prompt the AI for a magazine-style layout, and Kimi handles the rest. It actually pulls the DNA of the brand straight from that one image. It generates custom fonts, full bleed, parallax animations, a working shopping cart, and live code. We're talking going from one flat image to a scrollable, fully functional Nike-caliber website in seconds.
But Kimi doesn't just clone existing aesthetics. It can create the whole shebang entirely from scratch. With a single prompt, say asking for a minimalist clothing brand with geometric shapes, Kimi will generate your entire brand identity before it even writes a single line of code. You get the brand name, a manifesto, a custom color palette, a lookbook, and full newsletter integration. It can even take a totally static PNG, like let's say a simple drawing of a purple monster, and with one sentence turn it into a fully animated asset with dynamic, color-changing backgrounds.
And for creatives who, struggle with writing that perfect text prompt, there is Krea 2. They've introduced this brilliant mood board feature. Instead of trying to find the exact right words, you just throw a collection of reference images onto a digital board. The AI then analyzes the underlying aesthetic, the implicit colors, and the really subtle themes across all those images, and it generates brand new art in that exact nuanced style. It's an absolute game changer for translating a vague feeling in your head directly into a tangible visual.
Which leads us to our final stop, Theme 4, the infrastructure underneath. Look, we've seen some incredible software and creative miracles today, but none of this happens in a vacuum. Our final theme grounds us in the actual physical reality that's making all of this possible.
To actually process these massive, proactive AI agents, we need entirely new kinds of hardware. Enter a newly public company called Cerebras. They are totally redefining the physical limits of computing. Get this, they've built an AI chip literally the size of a dinner plate. Because of its massive, continuous surface area, it runs 15 times faster than Nvidia's top chips for AI workloads. That raw speed actually made Nvidia nervous. And it totally caught the attention of OpenAI, who just inked a massive $20 billion infrastructure deal to use Cerebras to power their future.
And the market? It recognizes exactly how huge this underlying hardware revolution is. Cerebras just hit a staggering $95 billion valuation on its IPO day. $95 billion. That makes it the biggest IPO of 2026. The financial world knows for sure that the proactive AI models, the robotics, the real-time translation, and the zero-click website generation, they all depend on this dinner plate-sized piece of silicon.
We've definitely covered a lot of ground today, right? From AI recovering lost crypto fortunes to generating entire brand ecosystems from a single screenshot, the tools are cheaper, faster, and way more proactive than they have ever been. So, I want to leave you with this question. The barrier to creation has collapsed overnight. The tools are just waiting for your command. So, what are you going to build? Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.